are you? My name is Kathleen. I'm back. This video is my third video in regards to the book Revelation Mixtape by Daniel Miller. And today I'm gonna be sharing with you my reflections about Revelation 5 to 6. So I mixed it. I think this is supposed to be a separate one because the first one was entitled The New Song and then the other one is in the middle. But I was in the mood of reading, so I read both chapters 5 to 6 because I kind of got curious about the picture of what was gonna happen. So just a review, the Revelation 1 to 3, we highlighted of who God is, how God addresses his people. The second one, chapter 4, an open invitation for us. God is worthy of praise and our purpose is to honor God. So now let's see what we got for Revelation 5 to 6. In my Bible, it's entitled The Lamb Takes the Scroll, and worthy is the Lamb. That's why I'm wearing white. And then on chapter 6, it's about the 7 seals. Okay, so this video might take a little bit longer than the other videos because I feel like I have a lot to share. Look at that. All right, so let's begin. 1, 2, 3. I think there's five highlights. So let me begin with, this is the part wherein it is revealed of who is worthy to open the scroll. So chapter 5 describes of the angel proclaiming with loud voice who is worthy to open the scroll. And then in the next few verses, verse 8, it revealed that Jesus is worthy to open the scroll. Worthy is the Lamb. The Lamb is Jesus. So it was described that the person or who is worthy to open the scroll is the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, who has triumphed, who was slain, and his blood is purchased for God, for God's people from every tribe, language, and nation. So people from every tribe, language, and nation are the chosen ones, right? Worthy is he to receive power, wealth, wisdom, strength, honor, glory, and praise. So this is like a description of who is worthy to open the scroll. And surely it is Jesus. He was the Lion of the tribe of Judah. He is in the root of David. He triumphed. He was slain. He was crucified on the cross for us. His blood purchased us, so that we would be purchased. His blood was purchased for God's people so that we would be saved. So we didn't have to experience what he went through. And this is the great blessing. This is what God did for us, that he died for us, so that we would be saved. I am sure that I am not worthy of it because I am not the one that was slain. It was God. So it was just a description of who is worthy. So now the second point, this captures my attention when I was reading it. The scene wherein elders were holding bowl of an incense, which are God's people prayer. I was so curious about this. The elders are holding God's people prayer. And that to me just hit wow, God collected all our prayers. And he actually hears our prayer. He actually has our prayer. you know, and it was it was like like the elders were like holding it on a bowl and offering. And to me, this was a form, like this was a picture, not a form. This is a picture of God's fulfillment of his promise, like, our prayers, that, it's an affirmation that God has our prayers and listen to us. And then the third one, I was captured by this picture of describing the numbers of worshipers. From the group, I watched what Daniel posted with the Travis. Like, some people interpret the numbers that can only come to heaven as 144,000, but I didn't interpret it that way. I interpreted it as, it says here that thousands upon thousand, 10,000 times 10,000. In my head at first I was like, how many is that? Like, I'm trying to do the math here, but then I realized that, it's not like, it only means that there's so many people, like there's so many people that would worship God. And so that was for chapter 5. There's like so much things happening here that it's so amazing. It like captures my imagination, like, and there's, when you're reading it, there's this sense of awe, like amazement. There's a sense like, wow, this is happening. And there's that, and then it tells here on the Revelation 5 verse 13, blessing and honor and glory and power be to him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever. This is the part that I like most, because this is the part that I find that there is so much, like God is so much. The honor, the glory, the power, there's like this sense of just amazement. All right, so now we proceed with the next chapter, which is 6. This is how I did it. I don't know if you can see with the light. This is how I did it, so that I would be able to really like picture in my head what is happening, what is the difference between each seal that were being opened. I wrote the colors of like how it's described, and then the purpose, like what were they for, just so I could grasp the picture. It's like a little bit too much to like interpret, like, but it wasn't more of just about the pictures that's happening, but I wanted to describe it. I want to be in there. It's like you're in a movie or something, except that this is like real, because this is the word of God. So I want to like be in the action. So I wrote it. So the first seal, it was a white horse, and the purpose of the first one is to conquer. The second seal, it's called conflict on earth. So this is where there's a red horse. It's just red. It's a horse, but it's like red. Like, it's described as fiery red. So that's what I wrote, red horse. It was granted to the one who sat on it to take peace from the earth. So the job of this horse is to take peace, like people kill each other. And then the next one, so basically, so that it won't be too long, I'm just gonna be describing it, because in my notes it's a lot easier than like we're reading it. So the black one for the third seal, it's more about talking about business and suffering, like in my perception, because I have a business background, like I studied business. This is like caught my attention. 2 pounds of what? Oh, 2 pounds of weight for a day's wage. 6 pounds of barley for days' wages, to not damage oil. And this is like, this is entitled A Scarcity on Earth. But like, this is the part where in you picture that, like, business is happening, but people are suffering. Like, there is inequality, there is scarcity, there is, like, you were doing your work, but your wage was not enough, and if you would think about it in today's, like, it does happen in some part of the world, like the chocolate makers, like the people that actually get the cocoa pods, stuff like that. Like, some of this, like, you don't, like, I don't, the way that I read it is like, I tried to like relate it to what is happening in the world today, and not just, like, stick to what the picture is. It's because it allows me to understand it better. It allows me to use my imagination and, like, capture the picture. And then the fourth one, the horse looks pale, and its purpose is, for death. It was given a sword, that would inflict famine, flog, wild beasts, and all that. This is entitled as widespread of that on earth. So if you would like take a look at it in today's world, I feel like, yeah, right, plugs and deaths are happening, and it's just the way that I could relate this. Like, not that why things are happening, like, it's meant to happen that way, like, not just because this is, it's written, it's written. So it's just easier to picture the seals, like, when I relate it, like, oh, that's why, like, I mean, I could be wrong but this is just how I tried to, like, capture the picture. And then the fifth seal, the cry of the martyrs. This is the part where we are, where the God's people are. These are the people, like, this talks about who were slain for God's name, like people that were persecuted because they stand up for God, and they cry out, like, people cry out, like, oh God, when are you gonna avenge our blood? These people killed us. Like, like, I'm just exaggerating with my imagination, but this seal, the fifth seal, contains that information that it's about God's people. The sixth one is, I don't know, the sixth one is about natural disasters. It describes a great earthquake, stars falling to earth, moon turning red, strong wind, vanishing places or island. So if you would think about it today, I mean, it's called cosmic disturbances. If you would think about it, like, anything is really possible. Like, from the beginning of, how God created the world, how he separated the day and night, how he created the universe. And now this is being described on how these things are going to be ruined. And everything is really possible. Like, and if you would take a look at the world today, yes, there's natural disasters, there's earthquake. So basically, the sixth chapter described on how destruction looks like in the end, but it also tells us that there's assurance for us of our place with God as his witnesses, as mentioned in, like, the fifth seal. So there's something that is waiting for us. Okay, guys, so the song that I could relate to Revelation 5-6 is the song Revelation by Kari, Jobe. Like, worthy is the Lamb who was slain, Worthy is the King above all king. I think that's the song. And the song So Will I by Hillsong. I think for this chapter I focused more on like the scene that's happening, not like the interpretation itself of what this was meant. So if you guys have comments about this chapter, well, let me know, and I shall see you on the next video. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Bye.